Hello, geeks! The latest entry in the Wizarding World, the Hogwarts Legacy game, gives us a whole lot of new info about a lot of characters and a lot of backstory. So, welcome to 5 things you probably didn't know about Hogwarts' former headmaster Phineas Nigellus Black. What is his position in the Black family? Phineas Nigellus Black's oldest son is named Sirius Black II, named after Phineas' own older brother Sirius Black I. Sirius Black II also had children, his oldest being Arcturus Black III, who fathered Orion Black, who again is the father to our beloved Sirius Black III, effectively making Phineas Nigellus Black the great-great-grandfather to the Sirius we know and love from the movies. Phineas Black was probably the worst headmaster in Hogwarts history. As an adult, Phineas Black became a professor at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, a job he didn't really like. So when he later was offered the position as the headmaster of Hogwarts by the British Ministry of Magic, he accepted the position only for the prestige associated with it and showing very little interest in acting as a role model or in children's education. Not only showing very little interest in a role as headmaster, he once also tried to persuade Minister Ferris Spavin, who was the sitting Minister of Magic at the time, to change the Hogwarts admission process, most likely to favor purebloods and restrict muggleborns, though this request was declined later on. Even though these things sounds bad, it's not all. Far from it. In the 1890 to 1891 school year, he banned Quidditch after a pure-blooded student had been injured the year before. And throughout that same school year, he remained oblivious while countless world-threatening events occurred around him, such as the terrorist goblin Ranrock planning an invasion on the school. More on that in later videos. His background. Phineas Nigellus Black was born in 1847 in the Great Britain. He was admitted into the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry at the age of 11 in 1858, and he took his owls in his 5th year and left the school in 1865, where he would proceed to marry Ursula Black, with whom he would carry on the Black family. He later took a job as a professor at Hogwarts. What kind of magic he was teaching is still yet to be discovered, and he would later proceed to become the headmaster of Hogwarts. Phineas Nigellus Black died in 1925, making him 78 years old when he died. Phineas Black is a man of codes. After his death in 1925, a portrait was hung in the headmaster's office and in 12 Grimmauld Place. The portraits in the headmaster's office are working with a code that they should always help the sitting headmaster if they in any way could be of aid. A quote from the book Order of the Phoenix: "We are honor bound to give service to the present headmaster of Hogwarts," said Armando Dibbet, who is also a former headmaster. Phineas Black was also headmaster during Albus Dumbledore's year as a student, but Phineas did not seem to hold much respect for his former student and distant successor. Phineas considered him to be too eccentric and to be wasting his time trying to understand the students and strongly disagreeing with Dumbledore's pro-Muggleborn beliefs. But despite that, he always aided Dumbledore in the books, making him, quote-unquote, a man of the code. He later also showed more than moderate interest in helping Severus Snape when he became headmaster. Phineas Black was more important than most people think. In Harry Potter's quest to take down Voldemort, Phineas Black plays a bigger role in aiding the trio than most people think. In the Deathly Hallows, Harry, Hermione, and Ron often talked with Phineas through one of his portraits, and that gives the trio a direct line into knowing what is going on at Hogwarts, making Phineas an active resource in the group's planning. He was also the one to tell Snape where the trio was in the books, making him important for Snape in his mission of delivering Godric Gryffindor's sword. So the two portraits of Phineas Nigellus Black was even more important than people think. If he had stemmed from any other wizarding family, say like the Malfoys or the Weasleys, he would not have had a portrait in 12 Grimmauld Place, which means that Harry and the two others wouldn't have had a portrait to take, and giving them no lifeline into what was going on at Hogwarts in the events of the Deathly Hallows, which makes Phineas Nigellus Black and his post-mortem portrait some of the most valuable pieces in the Second Wizarding War.